Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a magnetic excursion update Monday, December 23rd, around 9 p.m. Mountain Time, 2024. Take a look at Kilauea. Yeah, the volcano erupted suddenly this morning, just about 9 hours ago. Huge lava pool formed, spectacular fountaining on the side rim here, and just a fantastic event. Very unexpected. And this morning around 2 a.m., a new Kilauea eruption began within the Kilauea, the summit caldera, and it was caught on camera in a spectacular fashion. More on that in just a moment. Keep calm. It's boom time. And happy Eve before Christmas Eve. In just a few hours, it will be Christmas Eve, and then Santa will come, and it will be Christmas Day. Hey, hey. Or should I say, ho, ho, ho. Well, let's talk about it. On today's date, back in 1989, wow, back in 89, I just graduated from high school. There was a cold outbreak and a historic southeastern storm. Many of you might remember it. It has been chilly recently in parts of the East and Midwest as well as the South, but that pales in comparison to the late 1980s cold outbreak. On December 23rd, 1989, 35 years ago today, the eastern two-thirds of the U.S. was in the grips of one of the greatest cold waves of modern times. Nebraska tied its all-time record low during the outbreak of minus 47 degrees. That's without wind chill, folks, which only happened previously during the nation's clear number one cold outbreak in February of 1899. All-time record lows were smashed in Kansas City, minus 23 degrees, San Angelo, Texas, with minus 4 degrees, and New Orleans with just 11 degrees, as well as Wilmington, North Carolina, 0 degrees, according to weather historian Christopher Burt. But it wasn't just the cold, kids. This outbreak was punctuated by the southeast Atlantic coast's heaviest snow in modern times, according to Burt. It was the heaviest snowstorm on record in Charleston, South Carolina, 8 inches, Savannah, Georgia, 3.6 inches, and Wilmington, North Carolina, 15 inches. High winds whipped the snow into drifts up to 8 feet in parts of the Carolina coast plain. It even snowed in Florida. Live Oak measured 1.5 inches of snow, while Tallahassee recorded a trace. Holy macaroni. And we've just broken more records. Northern Michigan town plunges to 21 below zero, breaking the 1989 record by 11 degrees. And we're talking about Gaylord, Michigan. Temperatures spiraled well below zero across Michigan this morning, and some areas saw numbers plunge to levels of record-breaking cold. In Gaylord, the daily cold temperature record in the city was broken at 5:24 a.m., when the pre-dawn temps hit minus 21 degrees. The previous record for the day of minus 10 had been standing since 1989. Meanwhile, the remainder of northern Michigan wasn't much warmer, as the majority of the region dropped well below zero. Take a look at this. Minus 20, minus 18, just freezing cold in Michigan. And in case you haven't heard, a large portion of the Santa Cruz pier in California collapsed just hours ago into the water, taking multiple people with it. City workers could be seen still on the pier after it collapsed into the ocean. A 150-foot portion of the pier started floating away after the area experienced a large swell. In fact, Northern California up in the Pacific Northwest experiencing 30-foot swells. 2 of the workers required rescuing. Let's take a look.
There's people on it. The whole front just fell off. There's somebody on it.
Why did they do that?
I told you I saw part of it floating away a minute ago.
Has it been doing this for a while?
That's why the whole end of it's closed. That's insane. Call him.
Well, the good news there is that they're rapidly being rescued.
Mila saw it happen.
But
She's like, the whole end of the wharf just fell in, Mom.
we're unaware if it was only 2 people that were on that wharf. So our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to those workers there affected by the collapse. But the good news is that they did not drown. So please support the channel and check us out over on X at Oppenheimer Ranch Project at Diamond the Dave. We could appreciate a follow there. And here is the full forecast. Active weather in the west, showers and thunderstorms across the south central U.S. A series of Pacific storm systems will cross the northwest U.S. this week, bringing gusty winds, periods of heavy rain, and mountain snow. Ho, ho, ho. A few locally severe storms could occur across parts of central and eastern Texas on Tuesday. Generally mild conditions and above average temperatures are expected Christmas Day across the majority of the U.S. And there are dense fog advisories throughout the northern plains. A quick look at the GFS model. First, let's take a look at MLS preset plus frozen. You can see this clipper that's going to be moving through the northeast for Christmas Eve. So that will be tomorrow, most of the day. We're talking all of New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and portions of Connecticut, and even Massachusetts in the western half, as well as PA. So there's going to be a white Christmas for many. In the west, a major atmospheric river will be dipping down all the way into southern California, all the way through Christmas, bringing heavy snow to the Sierras as well as the Cascades. And that system will move to the east through the Rockies into Christmas Day and the day after Christmas as storm after storm pummels its way across the U.S. through the new year. Let's take a look at the total snowfall for all of the events. Now, if these storms track true here, take a look at the new year here. January 2nd, boom, and then January 5th, another boom, and then January 7th, another boom. This could be some record-breaking snow happening either in Canada or the Northeast. We'll just wait and see. But there is the white Christmas forecast right there. That is the snow that will fall through the end of Christmas Day. Seismic update. Largest rumbler of the day, a 5.9 in Cuba. I hope those communists felt it. We also have some activity at the New Madrid in Cooter, Missouri, 2.7 there, and Crescent, Oklahoma, 2.5 frac quake. Only one single quake on the West Coast, 3.4 near Petrolia, as we do have some uptick in Hawaii due to that eruption. And this morning, around 2:20 a.m., a new Kilauea eruption began within the main crater, and it rapidly filled into a giant lava pool. We've got more video coming. And the new eruption suddenly began at the summit on the Hawaiian island. Took many people off guard. The Hawaiian Volcano Observatory said the eruption began at 2 a.m., elevating Kilauea's volcanic alert system to the highest warning levels within a closed area of Hawaii Volcano National Park. And there is lots of live footage of it. This was the inception, the beginning of the eruption. And it was quite spectacular and extremely powerful. But about 9 hours after it began, it has come to an end, it appears. This is the current conditions at the summit crater live, and there is a huge lava lake crusting over. Is this just a lull in activity? It appears as if the eruption is coming to an end. So come over to the USGS and give them a thumbs up for some excellent coverage there. Let's talk about it. The initial stages of the eruption are often unpredictable. Webcam footage revealed a series of fissures producing lava fountains and flows at the base of the main crater, or the summit caldera. Currently, the activity remained confined to the summit caldera, and hazard evaluations will be updated. Well, it seems to have come to a close. And that brings us to the rest of the erupting volcanoes. We've got Dukono today, 8,000 foot Sangay to 20,000. Swanashima, 6,000 foot puff there. Canleon, 10,000 foot blast. Sabancaya, puffing. Fuego to 16. Sakurajima, puffing. Popo to 20,000. Semaru, who knew? Now you do. 14,000 foot puff today. Santaguito to 14. Ibu to 6. A new eruption at the caldera today. We just went over that. Canleon to 10. Fuego to 17. Sangay to 19. Semaru to 14. Popo, puffing and passing. Ibu to 6,000. Reventador, new volcanic ash. Canleon to 10,000. Kilauea, fountain-fed lava flows layer on the floor and are now crusting over as the eruption appears to be coming to an end. Sakurajima on the list today, as well as Santaguito, Sangay, Santaguito, and Ibu, wrapping up the list with an 11,000-foot puff. A quick look at space weather shows Christmas Day might bring us, well, some geomagnetic presence in the form of a G1 geomagnetic storm. Short-lived, albeit, but we will wait to see what happens. Low-level flaring overall. We did have an impulsive near-X flare earlier today, an M9.05 from active region 30, 932 there. But it was quite impulsive. And most of the plasma is moving to the south and away from Earth. So this CME probably will not affect us. And if you missed last night's show, NASA's Parker Solar Probe will, or already has, made its record-breaking Christmas Eve flyby. The Parker Solar Probe will swoop within just 6.1 million kilometers above the sun's surface on Christmas Eve. Scientists are thrilled at what they might learn. So stay tuned for updates on the mission. And Christmas Eve asteroid the size of a 10-floor building, they meant 10-story, makes close approach to Earth tonight. We are all about to get Jingle Bell rocked. No, probably not. Santa Claus isn't the only thing making a flyby of Earth this week. NASA warned that a giant asteroid the size of a 10-story building will be whizzing right past us on Christmas Eve. Dubbed 2024 XN1, the space rock will be jetting by us at just a distance of 4.48 million miles from Earth when it makes its closest approach just before 10 p.m. per the Space Org's Asteroid Watch dashboard. Here you can see 2024 XN1, December 23rd, 2024, 10 p.m. So it's just a few hours from now, or happening now, depending on the time zone. This baby, well, is flying by. And an asteroid comet chimera called Chiron has cosmologists baffled. They're claiming it's an unusual ice mix, and they're calling that this color here, this electrical pattern here, being caused by plasma, they're calling this sublimation of ice. Why? Well, because they're idiots. And I have no idea how cosmologists become to be cosmologists. They certainly have no knowledge of comets, because comets are not made of ice. They're made of rock. And yet they continue to claim they're made of ice and sublimating such ice as they glow. Now, this glow is nothing more than an active phase which is discharging in the solar wind, for goodness sakes. And that's a boom to knowledge. Just like a Christmas light, maybe someday cosmologists' brains will come on. And that's a boom. Please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Half the people watching tonight are unsubscribed, and we would appreciate a little Christmas present to the channel if you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so you can be notified by all of our podcasts. We post every single day, and we've been doing it for a decade now. We love each and every one of you. We hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. And as Christmas Eve fast approaches, keep calm. It's boom time.